Welcome to my tarot card reading for September 2016, Pisces. Remember, this is a general reading. This is not a personalized reading, because I have some people making comments that don't make sense, but it's a general reading, my people. Okay, so we have here Oya, Shango, and Iku. Notice that Shango and Iku are upside down. Iku, the angel of death. So they're like letting you know that something is going to come to an end. Something is approaching its end. Technically, you are at the end of the road, technically speaking. Okay, you are at the end of the road, and then Oya is letting you know now there are changes coming, a lot of changes. The Wheel of Fortune that we have here, and the Lovers is letting you know that a lot of changes are coming, but then you're going to be cornered, technically speaking. You have to make a decision, and all this is related with paperwork. Again, paperwork, contracts or promises. Mercury, Gemini, the North Node, Lovers. So there is something heavily related with paper, something legal. Jupiter, house number 9, something related with legal issues. This is a very emphasis in legal issues, so you must be very careful, because if it is not very if it is well aspected, it might look good for you, but if it is not well aspected, it could mean a lot of stuff. And one of them is jail, lawsuits, or anything along that line, breach of contracts or anything like that. So the tarot cards are saying that these changes are coming. Okay, and these changes are binding, these contracts are binding, and they are limiting you. They're limiting you your freedom, technically speaking. Literally speaking, limiting your freedom means that you're already in jail. And if you are in a contract, obviously the responsibilities are limiting by nature, because then you have to abide by the contract. So you're not free to do whatever you want. You have to abide and follow the rules established by the contract. Okay? So it's a binding contract. It's a binding promise. And that's what the tarot cards are talking about. Something is going to come to an end, and that's what they're letting you know. But it is in nature binding. Okay? It could mean that the contract comes to an end, or a contract ended and you're entering into a new contract. It could be either one. The thing is that you are at the end of the road, and there's a binding contract here. There's paperwork involved here. Okay? And expect this to start changing and happening in a very unexpected way. We have the Chariot, the Page of Cups, and Devil. The Page of Cups is letting us know that something unexpected is going to emerge. So it's going to change the dynamic of your game. The rules of your game are going to change. But you are limited by this contract, by these rules, by these laws, by this paper, by this contract. Okay, is it making sense what I'm explaining? And then we have the St. George, the Knight of Swords, the Ace of Staff, and the Eight of Cups, which is letting us know that technically you have just not one option. What it's really letting us know is that you're going to start seeing the results. You're going to be remunerated. I forgot the word. It's a time of reckoning, in other words. You're going to be compensated according to your acts. If throughout this year or this past month or previous month, your actions were a little bit on the stubborn side, you were not following the rules, you were doing things the way you want it, then expect the energy to be very limiting for you. Your liberty, your freedom might be totally limited. Not only that, that could mean jail in a very, 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 very worst case scenario. In other case scenario, it could mean that you get divorced and you have to pay child support or any other thing like that. It might mean that you lose a lawsuit and you have to pay. And that kind of situation is what the tarot cards are warning you. If you are doing things by the law and you are making sure that everything is done perfectly, then you're going to start seeing that everything is going to be fine with you and everything will be more expansion than contraction. Okay? We have to take that in consideration because there is an energy here that is very related with legal issues and jail. That's the common denominator here. Jail and legal issues. So just be very careful during this month. If you're going to sign a contract, make sure that everything is fine. Don't be impulsive. You might end up signing a contract with someone that you have heard that it is not a real good landlord, it's not a real good person doing business with. Just be careful because you might regret it at the end and then you are binded by the contract. Okay? And then you have to take under consideration the consequences of a breach contract. So this is what we're talking about. It's everything related with legal, something legal. Marriage, it could be that a marriage is never consumed and is dissolved. Worst case scenario, it could be that. It could mean that you are aware that you're marrying someone that is not worth it, but you decide to go on and do it anyway. Now you have to suffer the consequences of it. Okay? And this is what the tarot cards are talking about. Okay? And they're warning you, they're letting you know that this scenario is highly probable, but it's closely related with anything on the legal aspect. Okay? Anything related with legal, contracts, paperwork. Okay? And that's all I have for you until the next one.